Mr. Collins, just in relation to contractors providing services to RTE, and obviously there'll be a lot of them, IT, stars, coming in different guises. Does RTE always request a tax clearance certificate for contractors?
Yes, yes.
And can you say to me here today that you can guarantee this committee and the public that there are no contractors working for RTE that doesn't have, that is without tax clearance certs?
We endeavour to ensure that tax clearance certs are got from everybody. Now,
the code for a semi-state company would.
Yeah, we apply. Yeah, we're very conscious of that.
To ensure that we apply.
Yeah, we are very conscious of that. So if a contractor doesn't have a tax clearance cert, we will be immediately chase them for that. So you may have a
before you engage the contractor.
Do we? Is that a prerequisite?
You would ensure that we're tax compliant.
We would ensure that they're tax compliant, yes.
Okay. And you're absolutely confident, 100%, that there isn't any loose ends here?
I'd have to make inquiries now before I give 100% commitment. Okay. Something may have, a contractor we're using may have had an issue and the revenue may have come back and asked queries on that. That can happen, but it's generally sorted out very quickly. But we're conscious of our requirement.
So there wouldn't be any over a number of years, would
there?
No,
absolutely no. Okay. Things are sorted out very quickly.
Okay. Just in relation to, you stated that the previous CFO didn't brief you on the tripartite agreement in 2020 when you came in. I'm just wondering about, just questioning that, the credibility of this, because you stated that the person should have briefed you, meaning the former CFO should have briefed you. And that didn't happen, according to what you were saying.
No, I think what I said was that I was briefed on the fact that there was a commercial arrangement that RTE were trying to put in place or assist in putting in place. The tripartite agreement happened further on down the line. The contract, the 5-year contract
was salary piece. Can we just deal with the salary piece? You were saying that. You were saying here that you were across that deal, and what I'm just reflecting on that, on the answers that you're giving around that, because if you said that you concluded the standard part, okay, and I'm trying to picture the scenario here that you're concluding the standard part of Ryan Tuberty's salary, be it 440,000, 495,000, whichever it was, different years, and surely before you could do that, you would have to know the basics around what kind of income he was already in receipt of, be it from the diversionary route, as we know now, the concealment route, or by way of, but also know the details of the regular payment, the main payment.
No, the 5-year contract was pretty much, the fee was agreed in and that was pretty much done.
Did you ask, was there any top-ups or any side deals or diversionary routes here?
I didn't ask if there was top-ups or diversionary routes. I knew the intention was to try and get him additional income, and RTE would broker something there.
Okay. So, could I ask in relation to the end-of-year bonuses, 2017 to 2019, the 120,000, as I understand it, that. You stated that it was never paid and never accrued, but yet it actually finished up, the recipient actually finished up with it.
No, that's not correct.
No?
No.
Okay, so it was deducted from his published earnings.
Yes, they're two separate matters. So he was due €120,000 bonus at the end of his contract. It was never paid, never accrued. That's one matter. Separate matter is that 120,000 was deducted from his actual earnings when the published earnings were being calculated for 2017 to 2019.
Correct.
Now, Grant Thornton are investigating if there is a link between the two there.
Okay. I can just take you back to the consultancy and Noel Kelly consultants being Noel Kelly agent being providing services to RTE, and you said the figure for that was much.
The figure for
the consultancy. The invoice came with consultancy written on it.
Yes.
Which was the invoice for?
The invoice was for 75,000.
Okay.
Or 2 invoices for
Okay.
75,000.
Those 2. And there aren't any others?
No.
Okay. And Grant Thornton found that there was no evidence of consultancy. Is that correct?
On the balance of probabilities, that's what they've concluded.
Yeah, no evidence of it?
No.
Okay. And could I ask you this, that in relation to consultancy, you know, that if somebody was coming in to advise you, somebody who would be negotiating on behalf of agents and negotiating on behalf of a number of agents in RTE, would you think it appropriate that they would be hired then to do some consultancy work and to advise RTE and your team here and Miss D. Forbes, etc., in terms of strategy and in terms of how to deal with all of that? Do you think that's appropriate?
On reflection now, I don't think it is appropriate.
But on reflection, I mean, this man had the whole thing in the palm of his hand. He wrote the letter of demand according to the Grant Thornton report, demanding the final settlement. He sent over a letter for the board to sign, for the DG to sign. And he had the power of God by the look of that in the Grant Thornton report. What I'm saying is that on reflection, I mean, surely if the minute you would see it, I mean, would it not just would a red light start flashing, but would wouldn't you just press the on button on the shredder and put the letter into it at that point?
Well, the first thing is I wasn't aware that CMS was a company associated with Noel Kelly.
But would you not ask who was the company, who was the directors?
Again, in hindsight, yes. Looking back at all this now, I should have asked more questions on this.
Okay. And just moving on to the resignation of being asked for of Ms. Forbes. Ms. Lakin, you were before the committee here last week, and I'm just wondering that when you came into the committee, how much awareness had you of, what was happening in RT, what was unfolding, just in general? We don't.
Yeah, we didn't have the detail of it. We didn't have the detail of it until after the appearance here last week. We knew that an issue was unfolding. We knew it was with the board, and that it was in process, and that process hadn't concluded. And we were expecting it to conclude at some point, the end of the week, working towards possibly Thursday afternoon or possibly Friday.
Did you know what it related to?
I knew it related to corporate governance issue, a serious governance issue.
Did you know that it related to false figures regarding pay levels for for talent, what you describe as talent?
No.
No, okay. And can I ask, at the meeting on Saturday, Saturday 24th, did any officials attend that meeting?
Yes, myself and Trina Quell
attended. You attended as well. And in terms of the issue around Ms. Ford's, the fact that, that on Thursday it was said that she was on, the public position was that she was on holidays. On Friday it said that she was suspended. Did you have any discussion around that?
I think the chair the chair can, not around the annual leave statement, but I think the chair did
that inconsistency I'm asking about.
No, that didn't arise. That didn't arise that I can recall at the meeting.
No, because we knew on Thursday that the chair had been, I beg your pardon, that the Director General had been suspended the previous day, so it didn't arise for discussion.
You knew on Thursday? Is that what you said, Ms. Quill?
That's correct.
On Thursday.
On Thursday.
On Thursday when RT.
Yes, you would have known that the public statement put out then by RT, that she was actually on holidays, and that Thursday wasn't correct.
We were advised on Thursday that the Director General had been suspended on the Wednesday.
Yeah.
Right. So you would have known that the statement put out by RT was incorrect.
I'm not aware that maybe the chair can comment on this. I'm not aware that they put out a statement on Thursday that she was on leave. It's
been reported that she was on holidays. Isn't that correct, Ms. Riley?
There may have been a press inquiry into RT. I'm not aware of that.
That's what was being reported. Okay.
Yeah, I mean.
Sorry, Deputy. My understanding of this is there was a press query on the Monday as to where D. Forbes was, and the accurate position at that stage was that she was on leave.
Okay.
That subsequently got reported on Wednesday when things had changed.
Can I ask you about your role in RTE? your role is strategy.
Yep.
So you would work hand in glove with the DG.
Yep.
Advising the DG.
I worked very closely with D. Forbes.
Okay.
Yeah.
How many years have you been in that role?
I got appointed to the role initially by Noel Curran, and then the role evolved into Director of Strategy when a year or two after D started.
So you're a Director of Strategy for about 5 years?
A bit less than that, yeah.
So you would have had a very close working relationship?
I did.
Okay. And did she ever discuss with you matters in relation to the retention of the top stars?
No, we never had a conversation about this, and I know that might sound strange because we were very close, and hopefully will be at some stage again when this is all past. But we didn't have never had a conversation about this. I never had a role in top talent negotiations, top talent discussions, and I don't have responsibility for it. So no was the answer.
Let me put this to you. On numerous occasions, members of this committee have asked RTE management in relation to the high levels of remuneration for the top talent, so to speak. And the justification always would be that they'd walk, basically that we had to try and retain them. And there was a competitive market out there. That was, So can I ask you in relation to that? I mean, you would have observed those meetings here. I can't recall if you were present at any of them. You were at some of those meetings, were you?
I think so, yeah.
Yes,
I'm not sure.
and you would recall, I'm sure you would have observed them as well. And you would hear reports back from those meetings, and you'd be involved in preparations for them along with D. Forbes and other senior staff. But in relation to that, and, as the head of strategy, right, surely, and so much play was made of this by the senior people at the top of RTE, the importance of retaining that talent. If that's the case, and you're head of strategy, and you're head of strategy for 5 years, and you have a close relationship with the Director General, and you're asking me to believe that area around those issues was never discussed with the Director General.
You're asking the question whether I was specifically aware of any of the arrangements pertaining to the discussion today, and the answer is not at all. I never had a conversation with D4s with that. On the broader issue of the reduction of top talent fees, for want of a better expression. That process has been started. When I started working with Noel Curran, there was a very substantial reduction early in his term, since then they've dropped by close to 40%.
No, I've seen the grid.
So this is a topical issue in RTE, as much as it is everywhere else.
But can I ask very specific about it? Have you ever discussed with Ms. Ford or other senior executives in RTE that whole area of having to pay significant salaries, what we counted as very high salaries, or payments, or fees, as sometimes they're referred to because they're contractors, to retain that talent? And was that necessary? Was there ever a discussion around the necessity of that?
I mean, as I said,
as a head of strategy.
Yeah, I mean, of course, there's a discussion about top talent fees. As you say, it's an issue of public concern. It's an issue of political interest.
So the necessity, just to keep it short, the necessity of paying it would be discussed, wouldn't it? Would have been discussed. Had to be over the last 5 years. What else would you be doing?
Absolutely. I mean, the issue.
Okay. Yeah. And did ever anybody in the room when those discussions taking place ever ask the question about, how they might walk, where they would walk to? Was that question ever asked?
Well, there was one very specific case, as I said, not in D. Forbes' time, in Noel Curran's time, when one of our top stars did leave to go to Newstalk. And I wasn't party to the discussions, but...
is the market that big out there in this country for the
Well, I think certainly it is. It certainly is timely, I think, to reflect on that. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. I think these events.
I'm glad you agree with me on that. That's time to reflect on that.
Absolutely.
Because there's also the back question to that if somebody did walk, I think we could be fairly confident that we would fill those positions for 495,000 a year. I'm absolutely confident that if those jobs were advertised, that we would be, that RT would get enough applications, and that you would have to be able to, you'd have a long list, and I'm sure that you would have to shortlist it for interviews. It wouldn't be a case, I think, 1 or 2 applications going in. I think most people who are out there involved in recruitment would tell you that it would be, it's a very attractive position in a very attractive company, and it's highly rated position, I think anybody working in a recruitment agency would tell you that. Thanks.